Hey, welcome back. Today, we're diving deep into the world of copywriting. And let me tell you, it's a career that has totally transformed. We've moved way beyond just putting words on a page. We're talking high-level strategy now. So if you've ever wondered what it really takes to make it as a copywriter in today's world, you are in exactly the right place. Let's get into it. So right off the bat, we need to bust a huge myth. You know that image of a copywriter, maybe some character out of Mad Men, just dreaming up the next catchy slogan? Well, if that's what you're picturing, you're going to want to stick around, because the game has completely, and I mean completely, changed. And just look at this comparison. The difference between the old way and the new is just night and day. The Mad Men myth, that was all about grabbing attention, those big persuasive hooks, and honestly, a pretty aggressive sales approach. But the reality for 2025? It is a whole different playbook. The focus today is on building trust, on creating real relationships. It's all about empathy-driven, value-first marketing. We're talking content strategy, brand messaging, understanding entire sales funnels. The witty one-liner has truly evolved into a whole customer journey. And to build on that, let's clear up something that trips a lot of people up: copywriting versus content writing. The easiest way to think about it is this. Copywriting is all about persuasion. Its job is to get you to take a very specific action right now. Click buy now or sign up today. Content writing, on the other hand, is more about education. It's that longer blog post or that helpful guide that builds a relationship over time and brings in leads that way. You need both for sure, but they have very different jobs. Okay, so you're starting to see the bigger picture, but a huge question pops up. Where do you even begin? I mean, the world of copywriting isn't a one-size-fits-all kind of deal. The key is finding a niche, a corner of this world that really clicks with your own skills and passions. So, for example, right, if you're kind of nerdy about data and analytics, SEO copywriting could be your sweet spot. That's all about crafting content that Google absolutely loves. Or maybe you're a big ideas person, a true creative. Well, creative copywriting is where you'd focus on those unforgettable campaign concepts and brand stories. And hey, if you have that rare talent for making really complicated stuff sound simple, technical copywriting for industries like IT or finance is so incredibly valuable. It's all about finding where you can really shine. All right, now we're getting to the absolute core of it. You have to understand the modern playbook, because the fundamental currency of marketing, what actually works, is just not what it used to be. The art of persuasion has been evolving for centuries. Way back in the 15th century with the printing press, ads were direct. Here's a problem, here's our solution. Fast forward to the 1960s, and suddenly, attention was the #1 currency. Psychology, storytelling, that was everything. But now, in our digital age, we're all so skeptical. Just getting attention doesn't cut it anymore. For 2025 and beyond, you have to get this. Trust is the new default currency. So, how in the world do you build that trust? Well, you do it with a really smart content strategy. This 3-tier funnel is basically your modern roadmap. First, you pull people in at the top with things like relatable stories, maybe even memes. Then, in the middle, you educate them and build trust by giving them genuine value, guides, frameworks, real tips. It's only after you've done all that, at the bottom of the funnel, that you present an offer to an audience that already knows you, likes you, and trusts you. This whole new reality really stands on 3 main pillars. First, there's content strategizing. That's intentionally creating stuff to pull in the right audience. Then there's marketing, using psychology and story in your ads and emails to convert those leads while still building trust. And finally, branding. That's the long game. That's creating a community, a shared identity that creates loyalty and keeps people coming back again and again. A truly modern copywriter has to be a master of all 3. Okay, so where does this all lead? Let's talk about the career path. A great copywriter doesn't just write forever. The skills you're building here, they open up some serious doors to leadership roles. And one of the biggest leaps you can make is from copywriter to creative director. Think about it. A copywriter is focused on crafting the content for a specific project, really nailing the message. But a creative director, they manage the entire creative process for a whole campaign. They're zoomed out, thinking about the big picture, the brand strategy, and leading the entire team. The copywriter implements the vision, the creative director creates the vision. Now, making that jump requires a whole new set of skills. Suddenly, leadership and team management are crucial. You need sharp strategic thinking to plan campaigns from the ground up, and you definitely need to understand visual design. Things like client communication and project management become just as important as your writing.
It's a real shift from being a maker to becoming a leader.
All right, feeling inspired, ready to actually get started on this path? Let's talk about the practical first steps, especially if you're thinking about going the freelance route. Everything, and I mean everything, starts with your portfolio. There's this great quote from Creative Circle: "Your portfolio is the visual story of your career." I love that. In a market that runs on trust, this story is your ultimate proof. It's how you show that you can do more than just write clever lines. You can build those connections we've been talking about.
And that story, it has to be easy to access, no matter where someone is. Your portfolio absolutely must look great on a desktop, a tablet, and a phone. Think about it. Nothing shatters trust faster than a clunky, frustrating website. A potential client trying to view your work on their iPad and it's slow or broken, that's a lost opportunity right there.
Now, beyond your portfolio, your career is built on people. And look, real networking isn't just about collecting contacts on LinkedIn. It's about building genuine two-way relationships that are founded on that same currency of trust and mutual value. It means finding mentors, collaborating with other creatives, and actually contributing to the community. These are the connections that will fuel your career for years to come.
So, let's bring this all home. What is copywriting today? It's content strategy. It's customer psychology, it's brand messaging, it's building trust, it's crafting a seamless buying journey from that very first hello to the final thank you. When you put it all together, modern copywriting, it's just meaningful marketing.
And that brings us to one last thing to chew on. In an age where AI is getting scarily good at writing text, what is it that makes a human copywriter truly irreplaceable? Is it the empathy, the strategic mind, that unique ability to build a genuine community? That's something to think about. Thanks for tuning in.